What's up, everybody? Sorry the video is going to be a little blurry. So, just did a multiple date run with some living legends. There's my load in times and doors open times for the event for the first one. What is it like going out? Here's my singer Richie with Mr. Vinny Appice. That's in the green room. You see the refrigerator and stuff over there. That's where we hang out. You know us cover band guys, we hang out. Before our cover shows. So, I'm pretty beat up. It's Monday, and I still haven't recovered. Let's see. It's one of the venue shots from the back. This is the second venue from the back. Let's see. It's me and when playing, I'm up there, over there. Sorry about the fingernail polish. There's a crowd with there. That's Richie. Let's see what else we got. There's me on the top over there. There's you can see the sound guy over here with the iPad, and they're taking pictures and stuff. You can see the size of the stage and stuff with the thing. It's as cover bands, they give us, these big, huge stages to play on. Right, Tommy? And I'm only making reference to this because we had, I had some comments said, there's another picture. I do have a lot of video and stuff, but, someone took some professional pictures. There's me and Richie. I know I look like Steve Vai. But, and I made the Tom reference because there's some people that said, oh, you're jealous or blah, 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 blah. You have to understand, Tom stuck his foot in the mouth because he's a moron. As a person, not a guitar player. I'm not bashing his guitar playing. Everyone keeps saying, oh, the guitar, this playing, is playing. I have no issue with his playing. He's not as good as he thinks he is. He's an okay guitar player. But he called me out, said I was just a nobody. And I think Zach or some other people on here have said I'm a nobody. When obviously I'm opening up for living legends. Now this video ain't about me bragging about this, but what it does show is that I'm not full of shit. And again, now you guys have stuck your foot in your mouths. See, I've always been told this. Don't divulge information until the latter. Why is this? The wise man sits and listens. And then he gathers all the information. And then BAM! Woo! You're down for the fall. So, that's part of it. But this ain't what that video is about, because I could care less about those people. But this is what I'll say to everybody that comes on here and says negative stuff. If you're a musician or a guitar player, I don't care if you like other genres. I don't know why people can't just go, you're a really good guitar player, man. I don't like your sound. I don't like your genre. I don't like the way you play. It's not my thing, but you're really good at it. But I don't agree with your opinion on Tom as a person. Do you know Tom as a person? No. Do you know Tom personally? Do you know him as a musician? Have you worked with Tom? No. You only know by what you see on YouTube. Like Tom thought he knew me and called me out. Again, another nail in the coffin with him working not just a national act, but opening up for a living legend Living legends, Sabbath and Dio. Black Sabbath and Dio. Good God, you don't get much bigger in a legendary national act than that. But again, that's not what this video is about. This is about what it's like. I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people look stupid and they don't realize how stupid they look. Now, going back out on the road and doing a run of multiple dates, going on 59 years old, what was it like after years of not going on the road? And I've gotten up and jammed with people, but the last time I did a tour or played live 15 years ago, is it what I thought it was? Hell no. I got old, man. And there's rules to this kind of game. So you could cover band, you could show up 3-4 hours early, take your time, do your load in. You could go on a little late, the club might yell at you, but when you're opening up for like a Living Legends national act, you saw my itinerary. Load in, doors open, done. Now these are events, tickets are $30 to $300 a piece. Reserved tables are $180 per 4. You can spend probably $500-$600 easily with the VIP packages and the meet and greets and everything that goes into that. But you know it's cover band, guys. Now I'm going to explain what it's like going back out on the road and working with somebody like this. It was great. The band was amazing. And so was the Dio guy. No, they were very cordial and they were very nice to us. And I became friends with, I didn't know anyone in this band, but Jim has some friends that are my friends. I got his personal phone number. I just texted him yesterday. He gave my son some signed CDs who went to the first show and he loved the band. If you love rock and roll metal, Dio, Sabbath, metal, go see these guys. Jim is an incredible singer. Oh my God. And a nice guy. Now because there's contractors and writers and booking agents and this and that, it's a big thing. This isn't me playing with my best friend, like some people we know, and then playing a local bar or club and getting in because of who we are. And then, doing it. This is through booking agents and like Ticketmaster or whatever. It's a live event. So you have rules. Now, your rules govern you, but they don't. So let's say the first night we went on, the sound guy that was the in-house guy, he didn't get there until late. Second night, the band was like, I'm still suffering the after effects. But they, and what I mean by this is, it doesn't matter about us. They're going to do whatever they want. And it's not about us, even though we're the supporting act. It's about when they finish and get off the stage and get their stuff off. At 7 o'clock when those doors open, whatever time they finish, let's say it's 6:30, you have 25 minutes to get your gear on, sound check, and get off. You have to be off the stage by 7 o'clock. 5 to 7 they prefer. We get 3 to 7. It's a tight squeeze, and that happens. And you are what you are. That's why when they're sound checking, you roll your gear in, you set it all up in the hallway, you put all your cables in. It's go time when they get off. But the more you got prepped in order, take your guitars out, tune them, put them in the stands, grab your standing guitars, and then put them on stage. That's how it's done. Not like what people think. From 7 to 8 is our time. So we have an hour to get ready, relax, makeup, hair, eyeliner, the whole 9, fingernail polish, the whole 9 yards. It's just how it is. The band asked us the second night to go on a little early with playing a little later for whatever reason, and we obliged. Same pay, same anything. Whatever, we have a job. Is to get on and off as quick as possible. It's to entertain, put on one of the best shows that they can see, and get the crowd interacted. And what I mean by that is, our job as an opening band isn't to impress people. It's to make people feel they're a part of the show. We include them. Because there's a couple things that factor into bands. Time and efficiency, how you play, how you sound, and how good you put on a show, performance, entertaining. And 5, how much you can get out of the crowd to get them into the show as part of the show. You make them feel a part of the event. You take them somewhere that they haven't been before. And the first show, all the shows were great. The bands were great. The guitar player came up to me after the show. He was like, dude, you're tone sick. We were watching you from the green room where I showed you where Richie and Vinny Peace was. And he was like, that was ridiculous. He goes, those EVH sound like that? I go, no, I'm running Fractal into them. What? So I was running my Fractal into the EVH heads into a cab. And he's like, I've been wanting to do that, but I'm afraid I hear about the navigation problem. I go, it's not as bad as it used to be. But the end result is the ultimate guitar sound. It is. And here's a guy playing a Marshall JCM 800 head with the floorboard and effects. It's got amazing tone. I mean, it's great tone. But then here you go, him asking about what I'm playing through. We also did, at the end of the first night, we were told, where they said, like, just go a little longer, like, draw it out. So Richie got the crowd going, and I started soloing, doing all the crazy stuff. And again, the guitar player said, dude, I never saw anything like that before. I've never seen anything like that. And so we can hold our own. But that's part of me and who I get in the band to work with me. They are friends, but they're some of the best in the business. Gary's a really good drummer, but he's not a touring national act, never been in one. He's never opened for bands. I had to tell him to speed up because he didn't put his cage pre's together, didn't take his toms out. He had his own mics. He could have put the mics on there. Could have had everything ready to go, so it's just load and snare on top of the snare stand. He could have preset everything up off the side while they were sound checking. But he was unloaded that way because there were a bunch of people to help him get his stuff off. That's just how it is. He's not used to that. He didn't know. But again, the longer he takes setting up, 7 o'clock hits, I don't care if you have a sound check, and if you don't have a cymbal on, you're told to leave the stage. That's how it is. You gotta be ready, you gotta be quick, you have a different mindset. It was very hard on me because I have gotten older, and with the surgeries, getting on and getting off that fast is hard, and then getting ready. Because then you're in full costume for us, pulling everything off. So the roadie with the hair done and makeup is pulling stuff up. So again, I grab my guitars in the stands and walk them off into a loading area. That's where my cases are at. So everything is in the offload area. Everything goes over there. I roll my amp out and then I unplug everything. I unplug it from the walls. Now I left a power cord, a 3-way at the first venue because it was stuck under a monitor. And somehow it got near the bass rig. I was like, screw it, I'll leave it. $20 ain't worth me knocking his big rig over and crushing me. I was on the bass player's side the first night, the guitar player's side the second night. But it was still the same side, they just switched because of the way the venues were. It's not easy. at my age doing that, especially open up for like a legend who's Black Sabbath and Dio. That's like, there's a difference between opening for like Eddie Van Halen and Eric Clapton to Joe Bonamassa. It's a big difference. Joe's a great guitar player and he's a celebrity, but he's not a legendary guitar player like an Eddie Van Halen or a Clapton. And this goes into some of the stuff I was saying before. You get a lot of guys that come on here and they say a lot of things, including Uncle Larry, Uncle T-Bag, without knowing all the facts, and they end up sticking their foot in the mouth. Now, for me, these are my bands, so I'm responsible for the guys. I'm the one that get these shows because of me, because of my status in the music community. Now, there's a lot of people around that talk a lot of shit, and there's a lot of people who want to fool a lot of people. But again, you see the pictures. I just opened for a legend, not one date, not 2 days. And they actually asked us and said in front of the booking agent, "You guys are amazing, you're great, I wish you did the whole tour with us." I said, "No worries, Eric's right here. Just talk to him, he'll hook it up next time." He's like, "Next time." So they want us to go out on the road with them in the future if they do this again next year. And Jim's been singing with Vinny for 20 years. So he has to say so in the band. Incredible vocalist, incredible person. And Carmine, Vinny's brother, was at the first show. So was Sean. Dave the Beast Spitz from Sabbath. He was there too. And they praised Richie. Richie's ran around swinging from the vines, up everywhere, in your face. He's a great frontman. And the show, this is what a lot of bands forget. Like the Peripheries and stuff. 99% of your audience do not play music. Now, it may be a Periphery different, but maybe if you put on a show, you attract some more women. Women love a show. So do people that want to go have a good time. It's about engaging with an audience and putting a show on. This is what some people have a lack of in the music industry and the bands. Nobody wants to. I understand everybody wants to be good, and it's good that I can play, and the others can play and sing and do everything else. It's good that we can do that, but it's also great that we can put on a show and look the way we do. Just running around and moving and looking like that you are what you do. Let's say it like that. When you go up on stage and you're wearing cargo shorts and flip-flops, that might be great at a local gig, but even then I wouldn't recommend it. You don't look like a musician. You look like a tourist who happens to play and just came and walked and got on stage. The problem with that is you never know who shows up at your gig. If you look really good and say, I don't know, let's say John Bon Jovi. He lost Richie Sambora. He walked out in the middle of a tour, I think, didn't he? And now John had no guitarist, and he happened to go to a local bar where there was a band just to have a drink or two and escape the reality that Richie walked out. And here you are, flip-flops and cargo shorts, and you play pretty good. He's not going to look twice at you before he thinks you're not what you could have done. As opposed to looking on, going on, you don't have to have the hair, but you're dressed like a professional. You're not going to wear flip-flops and cargo pants into a courtroom. You're not going to wear that onto you see what I'm saying? There's a big difference in opening for a national act and even playing in cover bands. If somebody happens to walk in that you never thought would walk in, and he sees you twirling guitars around and putting on a show and goes, that's what I needed in the John Bon Jovi band. Hey man, how fast would it take you to learn this set? Could it happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. People are getting their singers off YouTube now. So you get some YouTube videos and you're not dressed so good. That's the psyche. That's the mind. That's between success and just being here and failure. You only get out of it what you put into it. And what will show in the end is when you open up for a national act like Legends and they said, I wish you were on the whole tour with us. I wish you could do the whole tour with us. Then we had two WWE retired wrestlers over on the West Coast come up to the band and ask us to play a private party. Why? Because if we do that in someone's house or wherever they rent, they look like the cool people who hired the cool band, because they did. They want to have that at their party. They want their friends to come see that and go, oh my God, you got to see this band. They run around, they do this, they play all these old hair band songs. They have this, they have that. You know, I even brought extra lights and fog machines. I didn't have time to set them up because of the way it was going, but I told them, I said, I brought wardrobes. I brought, you know, like even in the green room, you get ready, you put all your stuff, your cologne, your hairbrushes, everything goes into your backpacks, and you put them in the loading area. So as they come into the green room while you're playing and getting the crowd warmed up, they have a nice clean environment. You don't leave that dirty. That's how that works. And then you're respected. But that's our jobs. That's what we do. And that's why it went over so good. Now, the downfall of it all. It's not a lot of money. You're the opening band. But you're playing with national acts to get your name out there. Now, the name was already out there. But in the local area. Again, I haven't toured or done live shows in a long time. The second show, my whole body was in biofreeze. It's also why today's Monday and my last show was Friday. I got home 3 a.m. We drove all night, got back here. Because again, I don't want to be away from my family, my kid. But that's how it goes. You have to sacrifice a little bit. And thanks for Richie and Mark for driving. I drove a little bit too. It was fun. And even with all the surgeries and everything that's gone on with me, I'm going to tell everybody, I don't care what's wrong with you. Don't ever stop. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. I don't care if you think, if you're comparing yourself to a Vi or somebody on this level, don't. Compare yourself to you. Be the best you can be. And if you think you can be better and you want to achieve a new level, then go for it. Because that's what it's all about. And again, I say this all the time. It depends what you want to do with what you got. It's up to you what you want to do. I choose to fight. I choose to fight against my body. I choose to... Some people may say you're abusing yourself by doing that. But you know what? I'm not going to take it lying down. I'm going to push and fight until I drop. I'll drop dead. I'll just go right to the floor. I'm not going to die in a bed. I'm not going to die sitting around watching TV. Yeah, I sit at home all day most of the time, but you know, I'm still going to fight and try to push. I'm going to try to walk. I'm going to try to run. I'm going to try to play golf. All the things that I can't do, I'm going to try. I didn't know what was going to happen to my body. I didn't know how my body was going to react after 2-3 major surgeries. And it was brutal. Brutal. Can I get used to it again so that my body acclimates, whatever the word is? I can't think. I don't know. If you know what the word is, please post it. Accumulates? Accumulates. It's not easy, especially at my age, but it's fun. And most people don't have opportunities like I have. Like I said, this ain't to brag, but I've never played with Vinny and Peace. I never met him. I know Carmen through some other people. I talked to him for a couple minutes. Stet Howland from Wasp was at the second show. He wants to book us at some of the places he knows and his bar as well. I've done shows with him a long time ago, the 15, 20 years ago. That was one of my last shows, actually. It was with the drummer from Wasp. Nice guy. Awesome guy. But, you know, that's what it is. It is what it is. So how do I feel? I feel like shit. I feel like crap. Is it worth it? Yes. My son loved it, and that's what mattered to me. I put on the best show I could, sounded the best I could, did my job, and my son loved it. So that's another memory notched in the memory book for him. And that's why I do it. It's not for me anymore. It's for him. You gotta have something to live for, man. You gotta have something to do it for. Whether it's your family, your kid, your dog. Find something that gives you that edge to fight. Don't ever give up faith. Always have faith. I don't care if you believe in God or nothing. You gotta have faith in something. Without any faith in any chance, oh, let me work here. Maybe I can move up the corporate ladder. Maybe let me go here. Maybe I can meet my dream wife. Maybe let me go here. Maybe I can find that guitar I always wanted. You gotta have faith that that's gonna happen. Without it, you got zero. That's my story. That's what it was like going back out on the road for a little bit. Thanks to the band. Thanks to Eric. J-Mod, I get you coming up. I'm supposed to go meet Terry from XYZ and Brett Carlisle from Great White this week. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to interview them as well. So peace out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.